Hey there and welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. And don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So for today's tutorial, what you're going to use are these containers that you can get at Dollar Tree right now for Christmas goodies. And what I'm going to do is remove the lids and go ahead and add some tape to the rubber part where your containers seal are at, and just go ahead and add some tape like I am. If you're going to spray paint them, which I am, and the color I'm going to spray paint my labels, my lids are copper color. Now the containers themselves, I'm going to spray paint them white. And if you're going to use them with food like I am, make sure you flip them over and then spray paint them. That way you won't paint them inside. Now once they're all completely dry, just go ahead and remove the tape from your lids. And you can leave these as is. One thing that I really love about these containers are that they're a really good size, and also that they're stackable. You guys let me know in the comments down below how many are you guys going to use for your set. Now another thing I'm going to do are actually add labels with what I'm going to be putting inside my containers. I'm using these white labels with black trimming, and just going ahead and adding it to each one of my containers, just eyeballing it and making sure they're in the center. Now you have a few options. You can either print whatever you're going to add to your container onto the labels and then add them to your containers that way, or use a permanent marker. Or also what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some stickers that I have with already wordings on them. And the ones I'm going to use is sugar, coffee, and tea, because I'm going to use it for my coffee area. I'm thinking of going back and purchasing some more to use for my craft area. You guys let me know in the comments down below where you're going to use yours at. And once you're done adding your labels to your containers, you can leave them as is, or you can go another step further like I am and adding some distress to them with my permanent marker to make them look more of a vintage Enamelware containers. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the lids from my containers again. And then with the permanent marker, just go ahead and start making them look more Enamelware, which I'm going to line the bottom trimming and the top of each one of my containers. And you can make the trimming as thick as you like. I'm basically just making it the thickness of my permanent marker point. And the good thing about this is you don't have to make it perfect. I mean, you can if you like, but I think it looks pretty, it looks good if you just kind of just draw it. You know, you don't have to be perfect with it. You want it to look more vintage and old and used. So it doesn't have to be perfect, at least for my taste. These would be really adorable as a Christmas gift if you guys like giving homemade craft gifts. They can even be used for, say, a baby's room, and add some cotton balls or, bibs and stuff like that. So that's another option you can do with these containers. There's just so many different ideas and areas you can use them in your house. So just go ahead, and once you're done with your trimming, go ahead and just kind of add some markings with your permanent marker wherever you see fit, wherever you want, as many as you want. And once you're happy, you're done. And you just go ahead and do that to each one of your containers. And you can see I just kind of just make markings, just any way you like. And there you have him. Now, one thing that I do is I make sure I spray some clear coat on each one of the containers. So once you're done with that, that's the next DIY we're going to make is you're going to use one of these mop sticks. You can use the mop kind or the broom. And I purchased this wooden piece at Michael's for $1. You're going to go ahead and mark where you're going to drill your hole for your to add it to your mop stick. You're also going to use 3 of these containers. And you can use any size or any container that you like. I chose these because they're a lot sturdier and thicker, I guess you could say, from Dollar Tree compared to the ones that are normally there. And I wanted them to be more stable. So I went ahead and chose these. And what I'm doing is just using anything you have with the size of your broomstick to make an opening in each one of your containers. Just go ahead and grab something sharp. You can either use a box cutter like I am, or a knife or something to drill your hole in each one of your containers. Since these are a lot sturdier, like I told you, what I ended up doing was getting a blow dryer, making sure it's on high and hot, and then just go ahead and place it over where I'm going to cut for a few minutes to make it hot, so it can be easier for me to make the opening, to cut the opening out. These are very, very good and very strong baskets. So once you're done with that, go ahead and set those aside. Drill a hole, your screw into the piece of wood. And I added some liquid nail glue as well. And now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and drill the screw into the wood completely and into the broomstick as well. So once you're done with that, what I did was get some of these jenga pieces and then go ahead and glue them onto the sides of my broomstick. I'm at a loss of words today. I can't remember what I want to say, but go ahead and just add some Fix-All glue or E6000 to your broomstick and the jenga pieces, and go ahead and add them around just like so. Now I was going to leave it like this, but since I'm going to add things that can make this tilt a lot faster, I wanted to add some weight to the bottom. So what I ended up doing was getting some of these glass marbles or stones, you can call them, and placing them onto my wood piece, adding them with some hot glue and E6000. And you can add as many as you like. I'm gonna add quite a bit, like I said, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use this in my bathroom or in my kitchen for fruit, like for my onions, not fruit, I'm sorry, for my onions and potatoes and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure it was going to be sturdy and not tilt once I added my heavy items to it. So once I was happy, I went ahead and added this cone that you can get in your local Dollar Tree, and they're in your your toy area, and they come in a package. I believe they're for baseball or golf. I'm not sure, but they're always there. So just kind of walk around your toy aisle and see if you can find them at your Dollar Tree. Using some E6000 hot glue, I'm going to go ahead and add my cone to the bottom so you don't see the marbles or anything like that. Just go ahead and allow that to dry. And now we're going to start adding our baskets to our pole. So what I'm adding them with is E6000 and some hot glue. So the first basket, I'm just going to simply glue it onto the top of my cone. Now inside of each basket, I'm adding some wood pieces as well, just to make sure it doesn't tilt from one side to another and it stays in place. Now you can measure the distance between each one of the baskets if you choose to. I'm just going to add them where I think I want them. So I just went ahead and did the same process, adding 4 of the pieces of wood to where I want to add my next basket. And something else I did that I didn't show you guys is after I added the wood pieces, I got a zip tie and added a zip tie around my wood pieces to make sure that they stayed nice and secure and they wouldn't fall off or slide off, depending on the weight that you're going to add to each one of these baskets. So I recommend you, if you're going to use it for heavy items, I recommend you to do the same thing as well. Add a zip tie to around your wood pieces. Now adding your E6000 and hot glue onto your wood pieces to add your basket, and then again add 2 pieces of wood inside your basket, and then you just go ahead and do the same process to your third basket. Let me know what color you're going to paint this container, these tiers, baskets. I'm spray painting mine white. So a trick that I do to make it look more vintage and more, just more vintage, I add paint after I spray paint, whatever color you choose to paint it. To spray paint it, go ahead and use the same color of paint. In my case, I'm going to use white. So I make sure I paint each one of the baskets 2 times, allowing it to dry in between each coat. And this is how you're going to end up getting that more weathered vintage look with that yellow tint to your baskets. So once it's tacky, your paint, go ahead and spray paint it with your clear coat and that, and then completely allow it to completely dry. And then once they're completely dry, go ahead and start adding your markings with your permanent marker. And this is how I make it look more of the vintage yellow color of tint to your baskets. Like I said, I'm not sure where I'm going to use my basket, 3-tier basket. I don't know if I'm going to use it in my bathroom or in my kitchen area. You guys let me know in the comments down below where you're going to use yours at. Once I take the picture of both of these two projects together, you'll see how the difference of adding that 2 coats of paint to your project will make it look more weathered and vintage, more of that yellow tint compared to just adding spray paint to your projects, which both look very nice, just depending on your style and how you want them to look. So these are my containers. And here's my 3-tier baskets. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.